Welcome to Sunday Fuel, where we give you the fuel for the week ahead. Wait, no, what was the catchphrase I had last week?
Was there one?
Yeah, I keep trying. You're not writing these down. You're the editor.
No,
You don't
no,
remember these?
no. I think these are
Useless.
just jokes you're making because they sound so
Useless.
stupid.
Useless. Well, this was an unfortunate week. I was expecting 106 up to 109 on Bitcoin. That didn't happen. It did not happen. If you remember, Peter, what was the price level that's what was the only price level, the weekly price level that Bitcoin's being drawn to?
What is the only price level? It's being drawn to VWAP.
Um, right? But the level that we were targeting
I don't
for the
remember.
week,
I'm buy and hold over here, buddy. You're
buy and
barking up the
hold.
wrong tree.
Ridiculous. You're not going to make 50x trades that way, Peter. Let's just take a look at the chart. All right. So we take a look at the chart here on let's go to 2 hour. Does this look crazy to you, all the stuff on the chart?
Yeah, it looks like my daughter's drawings.
Because all I see is blonde, brunette, redhead. Okay, so this is last week's trade over here. We ended up this red line over here. Right, so that's the last week demarcation, and the idea here was that the level was over here. This level here is what we're looking at, and so
Wait, I don't remember you predicting that it was going to go to 106 in the last stream.
I think I said that
You were equivocating. It could go up.
Trader's
It could go
Post.
down. You were.
Yeah, I've seen it could go up and could go down. Yeah, but I was actually expecting a move up to 106 and then down to 88.
Really?
Yes, this is what I'm hoping for.
That's a massive collapse. I mean,
Oh, God, I would love it, Peter. My strategy cares not at all about blue sky, rises in Bitcoin. It cares about moving in levels we've been at before. The more we're in blue sky territory, the more it means nothing at all to me. I can't plan it. There's no trade. So, yeah, you're right. I was saying that we were likely head up to this level, which is exactly what we did. So we actually touched it
does your
once.
line have to be pink? Can't it be something that? Well, I guess you have all the colors there, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I don't know. White instead?
Yeah, white's better.
Okay. Yeah, so this is the level we talked about. And the idea is that we would move up. And it wasn't that much of a big move up, right? Remember? So this is the level we reached to. And that was only what? This was at most you got a 1% move. So made 50% on that move, which, sorry, I'm calculating it wrong. No, 1%. I actually went all the way up to over here to 1.34% up because, let me just replay this. Just something to keep in mind. We had the level, 1 second here. So we had this level to head to. I'll even go back a little bit further. So we were near support over here. This is the wave support. And then this is the level we were aiming at. And so we actually went from a low all the way up to over here. But you see how we have this weekly trend, but then we have this daily one over here. So whenever they're close together, those guys are both magnets, and I will generally aim for over here. That eventually we'll get to that one because we are above our support. We already have the attraction up, and generally speaking, the price will move beyond that. And so that's what happened. We actually moved up first to almost to that line, and this was always makes me laugh, Peter. You see over here, there's a gap.
Yeah.
And so what do you think happened? The OCD price is like, I gotta get back over there. We came out over here. We bumped up again and again. Come on, let's just move a little bit faster here. Anyways, we don't have to do it that way. Okay, so we had this move up to this level, but because we had a gap here, the price, even though it's trying to fall to this lower level, um, it's like, nah, I gotta get back. I gotta get back to over here. And it got back to over here. It crossed here again, which is another VWAP level. And because of this momentum, it went all the way up to our trend over here, this teal line. Why? Because it also coincided with this trend. So you see this trend over here, and then this trend over here, and then this.
Yeah.
So this all creates like a zone, this resistance zone where the price, if it's going to move, will get to that level. Now, I was hoping that we would break through there and we would head up to around 106 and then come down, because this 106 level over here would count as a um it'd be on this trend area. Oh, I should have known. I didn't count it properly. It went exactly to where it needed to go. Oh, I should have drawn the trend.
What did you learn? I'm gonna treat you like my daughter. What did you learn?
Draw more lines. Actually, now that I'm seeing it, that's exactly where it should have gone. I was just thinking about it in terms of high, lower high, lower high in this area over here, up to this trend. But because this is the channel I'm actually looking at, let me see if we could draw it for you. This trend over here is the channel I've been paying attention to. So the idea is that we move down and we just move through this channel. And so I was expecting another move up like this towards at least here. This is what I was expecting. So that we would get a high here, and then another hit to that line. We might still get there, but we didn't get there so far. The issue is that when we take a look at liquidity, this is another reason why I thought we might get up there. When we take a look at our liquidity, this is our offset liquidity in yellow.
You gotta get rid of us.
Yeah. You can always do that on your own, Peter, in case I forget.
Gotcha.
This level up, I was expecting to propel us higher up. Because generally speaking, for every 1% move in global dollar liquidity, we have about a 9% move in the Bitcoin asset. So this resistance really, I mean, was way stronger than I thought. And the issue is that now we've passed this, right? This potential move up got at most to over here. And so now we're in a downtrend for liquidity. So basically, to me, this whole area is done. We're not getting up there anytime soon. Maybe we spike or something like that. The last thing I'm sort of looking for here is that we are testing this wave line. I think I talked about it last week that depending on where we close versus that line will tell us if we've broken support. And if we break over here, then chances are very likely that we're heading to 88, especially since our liquidity is falling over here.
Didn't you say
So
liquidity was at a 12-day lag?
12-week lag.
12-week lag, sorry.
Yeah. So this is the lagged one.
Oh, I
This is
see.
this purple one's the concurrent liquidity, and this is the lagged one.
I see.
And so if we plateau and head down over here, then we could easily move forward down. In fact, our down moves have been more dramatic than our up moves. Well, it depends what you're looking at, but this drop down over here doesn't mean that we only get back to this level over here, which is here. It could mean that we fall even lower because we didn't get this up move up that would bring us down to a little bit lower level. We're falling from this level over here. So we've cleared our weekly trade that's being set up right now for the week ahead. So, and I'm glad, Peter, that we're doing these before the actual trade happens over here. So we have this weekly that's ending today, and we're falling into this bar, which happens all the time. I think I tweeted this out, I'm not sure, where we almost always fall into the weekly trade. right? So don't see that as a trend. It happens all the time. Like don't see that as a beginning of a trend. That
Hmm.
happens all the time. And then what also happens almost all the time is that we'll bounce up to our weekly level, which will be around 96. What is it over here? 96, around 96.4, 96.5. So this level over here is where we expect the trend to bounce to. So I don't, we could fall further down here, who knows? And then we should get back up over here. So I would like at least a 1% move down here so that I can make 50% up there, back up to this level. So then the question is, once we get back to this level, since we're coming at it from below, it's bearish, right? So you could even see it over here. Let me just hide everything else. You'll see what the trend is like. So you see the colors back here, the trend
Mhm.
colors. We actually switched to bearish trend. So we last week we were in this and we were in this yellow period. I said I was looking for a way up. We got it. We got the next day was green. The next day was green, and then this was sort of like a, because it's still bullish but not very strong. That usually indicates that we're starting to roll down the other side. Just like over here is smaller than this one, and over over here is narrower than this area over here. Once you get these small areas, chances are we're turning, and that's exactly what happened. Um, so now we're in a bearish zone. So we could even get all the way up to over here and still roll over, which is unfortunate for people who want Bitcoin to go up. I get it, but it didn't work out. Now there is an interesting thing here that I've been paying attention to, which is so if we take a look at our liquidity indicator, we actually are going to get a blast of liquidity in April, around April 6th, I think this is. Yeah, April 6th, April 7th. We know that we're going to get this blast off of liquidity up. Let me just move this over. Right? So we know this is coming, but it's coming in April. And if you'll remember, the window of weakness here that we're in, the between February 20th and March 20th, is a time of potential weakness within the markets. So, for example, if we head back to the COVID drop, the drop in COVID that we had in 2020, back, this drop over here happened as of, it peaked over here. What is it? February. Here it is. So this is February 20th over here. And then it bottomed over here around March 13th. Let's call it March 17th. So between February 20th and March 20th are these periods of weakness. It doesn't mean that you're going to get a crash. It just means that if there's going to be some sort of catalyst, and it happens on one of these 4 windows of weakness every year, then you're likely to get a big move down. And so because we had this, we didn't get a big move up, it means there's some sort of downward pressure on liquidity. If there's an event, I could absolutely see us getting down to this 88 level, even down to the 74 level. That's totally doable before we move back up. And we're waiting for, basically now I'm not looking for any new high or anything like that until we get to around April, which is great for us because we can still make money in our moves. We can actually make more money that way in our leverage moves while we accumulate Bitcoin for the run up. Now there is a I don't want to go too long winded about it. I might actually just share it on my Twitter, but Raul makes a great point that he was in conversation with Michael Howe, talking about
Who's Michael
when
Howe?
Michael Howe was from Cross Border Capital. He's I believe an analyst who's been very good at expounding the importance of liquidity, global dollar liquidity. I believe he worked for Salomon Brothers, a big firm back in the day, and basically he's been sharing his knowledge. So the idea here is that you get dollar liquidity into the markets for a number of different reasons, and one of those reasons is China. China, which is the production arm of the American Empire, our beloved empire, may it reign long and forever. Um, what happens is that they are going through a massive uh, debt deflation right now, just absolutely crushing,
Really?
almost to the level of like the Great Depression.
Wait, what's causing it? I thought doesn't America owe China like $1 trillion?
No, that yes, but that's not how that works. Um, God, people really don't understand how the people think. Oh my God, people are borrowing. The America owes all this. The Chinese could just call in the the debt and will be crushed. That's not how that goes. The That's not how that goes at all. The One of the reasons why sovereign nations hold on to the bonds is that they're better than cash, right? Cash is basically a bond, a U.S. bond, right? It's a promise. Um, it's a bond that gives zero interest rate and has infinite maturity. There's no end. It's not like a 2-year bond, a 3 or 30-year bond, or whatever. It's an infinite maturity for a dollar. Is an infinite maturity, 0% interest bond. It's the worst kind of bond you can have. So someone says, "Hey, take this, which is equal to cash. You can trade it just as easily amongst it's just as liquid, if not more liquid, and you get 5% interest on that, versus the dollars, and you get zero. There's no reason to do that. So if China has $1 trillion worth of U.S. treasuries, whatever it is, they're collecting an interest payment on that. Like the government's not paying an interest payment, so those treasuries become a source of dollars. If they go, no, we want to redeem all the bonds right now, and they get all that money, then they get all that money, which they could have just collateralized the bonds anyway and access the equity that way. They get the money, they spend it, and then now what?
They
Now
collapse the U.S. economy and then take over the world.
if they collapse the U.S. economy, they also collapse their own economy.
Maybe they're willing to deal with the pain.
Maybe. And if that happens, I'll join Peter Schiff. I'll get a Peter Schiff tattoo. Right on my forehead.
But wait, aren't interest payments on the debt? Isn't that getting worse and worse? Isn't America facing a debt spiral?
Yeah, but that's a problem for the United States, not for China.
Yeah, but if America can't make good on their debts and they default,
America can always make good on their debt. They can print the reserve currency. There's no way that America's ever going to default on it because they could print the currency.
is this modern monetary theory? Is this what you're talking about?
No, they were the world reserve currency. They'll have problems because
Okay, they're the world reserve currency, but they can't print $10 trillion.
Yes, they can print $10 trillion.
Okay, but if they print $10 trillion, they will have knock-on effects.
Exactly. But
that will collapse. It'll collapse the American economy. It'll take trust away from the financial system. They will no longer be the reserve status.
That won't take away trust. That's what gives trust, that they are paying the interest payment to the detriment of their own people.
By printing up all the money to pay the debt?
Yes.
This doesn't make any sense to me.
No, to pay the interest payments. They're not paying off the bonds.
Right, the interest payments.
The interest payments. If they tried to actually claim the bonds, and everyone was trying to do that, well, that's what the military's for. You think America has these ships all over the place just to look pretty? No.
Less ships than ever before.
Yeah, well, it's what's the old saying? It's when the sloth is up against the dam, she is the most dangerous. Look, it's just dangerous if you back America into the corner. Okay. When it has all the guns everywhere, it's not nervous. But when it's inside of a Mexican standoff against 3 other people and only has 2 arms, that's where you have to worry about it. You might fire off a couple of bullets just to take people out of the game. Are you following along, Peter?
I think so.
Are you aware of what's going on?
Sounds like you're a maniac. Sounds like America's a maniac, but okay. All right. So let's go on.
They're an empire, maniac, right? You think I'm drinking this delicious bourbon because we don't have an empire? Come on. Come on. We need an empire. I'm just jealous that I'm not in District 1. Well, I'm in District 4. I'll get to District 1. Just give me some time. Give me something to aim for. Want to collapse the whole thing and live inside of a libertarian nightmare? Get out of here. I don't want to make my own nails and cut my own woods. Are you out of your mind? I'd rather die. Oh, thank you. You want to live in a world without Amazon.com? Get out of here. All right? Netflix, Hulu, Prime, Disney Plus.
All right, let's keep it on track. We're
Crave.
on Sunday Fuel here. All right, cut it with the bourbon and
Oh.
tell me about the trade and where the money's going to be made. So you're saying
This is not bourbon. This is iced tea. Long Island iced tea made out of bourbon.
with no tea in it.
No tea in it.
Okay, so
So I just want to mention here. So because of China's going through this massive problem,
Right.
and so let's just take a quick look at this over here, the U.S. dollar, which I'll always bring up because it's like super important. But we have here the DXY. So this is the U.S. dollar, and you'll notice over here that it's been gaining strength. So just keep in mind, the higher the dollar is, the worse it is for nations other than the United States. It means there's a constraint within liquidity within the system. And so what we're potentially looking at is that, let me say it this way. The United States has, one second here. If the dollar is strong, what other countries need to do is print their currency in order to get more of those dollars. But that devalues their currency. So the dollar goes up as their dollar goes down, which causes inflation or lack of liquidity, lack of prosperity, lack of productivity within their nation. So
how
there's a
does them
limit
printing their dollars get them more US dollars?
because they use those dollars to buy US dollars.
You mean to buy like bonds? Or
No.
like-
Well, sure, bonds, US dollars.
or
Absolutely.
just currency swap? Like, I don't
Yeah,
get it. Who's
anything that gets them US dollars.
okay?
They have to print their currency in order to get it. If they don't have enough in productivity and all that sort of thing. So they print their way out. But if they do that, their currency goes down in value as the United States goes up in value because they're bidding more for that, more and more and more, and they're printing their money in order to do that. So you get the spread. So there's a limit to how far they can go down.
Right.
So if it goes too far, because it causes inflation within their own in their own currency, they have to like stop. But then they don't have the dollars, which causes this deflationary scenario and like depression-like scenario. There's just not enough dollars around. Why do we have the Great Depression? There was not enough dollars circulating around. Right?
So we got to bring down the DXY.
Right. So America can bring down the DXY. Like you said, why don't they just print $10 trillion? Yeah, they could. They could lower the dollar, but they could use this as a bargaining chip with China to get concessions or whatever. These things happen behind the scenes. So if they do then give in to whatever it is that they're asking, the United States is asking them for, I don't know what it is, but someone's nuts is getting screwed. Then they can release the pressure on the dollar, start bringing down the dollar, and then China can start printing their currency, and help get their.
So has China printed their currency too much now? Is they've
No, they have
reached
to
their
stop.
limit?
Yeah, they have to stop
Huh.
or slow down.
How long have they been doing that?
It's been some months now.
Since the DXY has been going up.
No, since we had the rip in Bitcoin moved to bullish trend from October 2023, I believe it was. 'Cause China
But I thought they print their currency to get dollars because the dollar is high, so they have to print more. Now you're bringing in Bitcoin.
What happened over here, if you look at the dollar was rising dramatically from 2021 to 2023.
Mhm.
Then around October 2022, the dollar starts falling. So when the dollar starts falling, they can print currency in order to
Oh, I see.
to
That's
get
right.
more of it. So we just add Bitcoin on top of that real quick.
I thought you said they print their currency when the DXY is high because it's harder for them to get dollars.
Well, they're always printing their currency sometimes in order to get more dollars. That's what
Mhm.
countries abroad do. It's just that they have to do it more under certain circumstances. And
I
when they
see.
do that, that's the same thing as add on liquidity into their system.
So
So you'll
when do
notice that
they want to add liquidity? When the dollar is high or low?
they always want to add liquidity. It's just sometimes they have to add way more liquidity.
Mhm.
So the higher the dollar gets, the more every other country needs to debase their currency in order to buy more dollars.
Gotcha.
So that's why when we had this drop in the dollar over here, we simultaneously had the bottom in Bitcoin and the rise up, right?
Mhm.
And so when you have that drop, you can get this liquidity injection. So over here, if we get the dollar that falls, we might have the same sort of effect over here where it launches Bitcoin into its next phase.
Hmm.
Because not only will United States be printing its currency in order to ease to help with uh, domestic production, to ease the dollar burden abroad. Now, breathe a sigh of relief. This less tension abroad. There's less pressure abroad, and they can now actually have liquidity in dollars in order to be more productive and get out of the mess. And so, and this is what happened last time with Donald Trump.
Hmm.
In 2016, the dollar went up dramatically. People were like, "Oh my god, it's so high!" And then Trump then had this, did what he needed to do behind the scenes, bring the dollar down, and then we had a bull run there. And so we can't like the world's not going to just leave China in a depression. I don't see that.
The
I guess I just
manufacturing base of the
okay,
world. We need them, right?
absolutely. And so I think that's likely to happen. Plus, at the same time, we're having this weird, well, not weird, but let me just show this real quick. If you take a look at the PMI, this is the Purchasers and Managers Index. Oh, wrong one. So this is the ISM. This is the business cycle. We oscillate up and down through the business cycle. When things go well, this goes up. When things go badly, this goes down. And you'll notice here that we have now, for the first time, ticked above 50 since 2020, June of 2020. So do you remember what happened June of 2020? Skyrocket in assets. As we
Yeah.
move from the low up, this is bullish. So if this is what's happening now, we have this higher highs, right? So we have this higher high going, higher lows. Then we could, if we're at the beginning of the next cycle, then we have a whole other freaking banana zone coming.
Hmm.
Um, so that's pretty interesting. Now, there's all kinds of things in there that are strange that we can't account for. There's all kinds of layoffs that are happening because of AI, because of lack of liquidity in certain sectors, because of high interest rates. It's all kinds of things that are a little bit different than other cycles, but every cycle has that sort of thing. What we're seeing is that the ISM, the chart I just showed you, this is a diffusion index that's using the opinion of purchasing managers, right? So it's aggregating their expectations. Like, are you hiring more people? Are you getting more orders? You have expectations of better things next week than you did last week, that sort of thing. And in aggregate, they're saying yes,
Mhm.
and you get these oscillations within the business cycle. So we're not halfway through the run. Might be 25% of the way through the run, depending on how high the cycle is. And that would coincide with once we get out of this window of weakness, March 20th, so end of March and then beginning of April, then we get the dollar comes down because of deals between China and the United States, whatever. Liquidity starts increasing, and then boom, we can get this rip roaring bout of liquidity that matches the liquidity offset that we looked at before, and then you get 250, 500,000 Bitcoin, who knows. But until April 6th, the only way you're going to make any serious cash trading Bitcoin is with our system, 50x leverage. As far as I know, one of the only 50x leverage systems for crypto for manual trading that I've seen. It's been pretty fun. It's been pretty fun. So if you're interested in getting it, we're rolling out the system soon. For right now, I'm just taking people on a wait list. You can message, you can put a comment on YouTube. You can message me on Twitter at Sacred Prophet. Um, you can even go to our group on Telegram at Sacred Prophet. Message me there. It's free to sign up. You do have to sign up as an affiliate to one of our networks because that's the way we get cash on the back end. But all the indicators and all this information is free, and you can join in on the process. It's a lot of fun. If you like manual trading, you like crypto, you like leverage, you like risk, this is the trade for you. All right, Peter.
Did you say 500,000 Bitcoin?
I'm just saying, just a number higher, a lot higher than we are
But
now.
could it get to 500,000 in this next banana run?
It could get to 1 million with
Excuse
the right
me?
crisis. With the right crisis, why couldn't it?
What would be a right crisis?
I didn't see COVID coming. Let's do that. Another COVID.
Bird flu? Ebola? I keep hearing them talking
No,
about
no, it doesn't have to be a
Ebola.
pandemic. Just anything. Let's get. I don't know.
Well, I can make a pandemic happen. It's very
AI?
easy.
With AI.
Oh, no. You just need a virus and it needs to spread. Trust me, I know how to spread a virus. This one time in Wuhan, China.
But we can also count on a crisis. Crises always happen. That's one thing you could really count on with markets.
Well, Zelensky, did you hear what Zelensky said?
No.
He said, we don't owe 100 billion. That's a grant, not a loan, not a debt. He's not paying anything back.
Yeah, these are not crisis. I'm talking about.
Look, you don't know Ukraine, all right? If you mess with Ukraine, they've got 7 ways to Sunday to get you back.
Well, we had the COVID run. Before that, we had the Volmageddon. Before that, we had Brexit. Before that, we had global financial crisis.
Wait, we need something on
bubble.
that level? We need a crisis on that level? I don't want a crisis on that level. I'd rather
Stop. You want to make money or not make money?
Not make money. Not make money.
What?
Yeah.
Peter,
I don't need another crisis.
you incarnated at the wrong time. Why would you incarnate in a fourth turning if you don't want crisis? Come on.
We have had enough crisis.
No.
I don't want to think like that. I ain't wearing masks again. Not happening.
No, it'll be some other horrible thing. It's just that this time we can capitalize it on it, just like we did last time. Last time, raking it in.
What would be fun would be if AI robots went rogue. Just one.
No, that's for the next fourth turning. We got to get the end through this one. We have ours, right? I'm thinking assassination. I'm thinking aliens. I'm thinking, those are the sort of things I would take. California falls into the sea. Taiwan gets invaded.
No offense.
Just stuff like that. AI robot wars. What if kids can deal with that?
What if Canada becomes a 51st state? Would that count as a crisis?
Oh, so good. Not a crisis. That'd be great. Are you kidding me? 51st state would be great. I take that in a second. But you lose your healthcare. Okay, I'll lose my healthcare. I get to be part of the empire? Warless? Let's do it, baby. Let's do it.
All right. It's looking good.
All of a sudden, I'm going to have an accent. All of a sudden, hey, I'm 51st state. Why do you have an accent?
What accent is that? It's terrible.
It's a southern accent, boy.
You need a hat to go along with that accent.
I'm trying to do like Django Unchained plantation owner sort of thing.
Yeah, well, you definitely need a hat for that.
The skull, the black man, has a little dent at the back for subservience. Yes, massa. Yes. Look, I have to be a slave to be part of the empire. Sign me up. A lot of upward mobility once you're part of the empire, even for a lowly slave.
Yeah, hard pass on that.
Yeah, maybe cut off this whole slave part from.
Yeah, I think we went a little bit off the rails with this one here.
Hard pass on that one.
Yeah, that this content was more right moves and less Sunday fuel, but at least we can use this fuel to burn stuff. So
when I think about it as the right moves.
Okay, I'm out of here before we
More,
get
more
canceled.
like episode 2, Attack of the Clones. That's what I think. The right move.
This episode proves, and the other one proves, that there's free speech in Canada.
Oh God, we're gonna get arrested.